July 3, 2024, and for the determination of quorum, kindly acknowledge your presence po once your name is called. Starting with our presiding officer, the Vice Chairperson, Major General Ricardo Banayat.
Good morning, present.
Good morning po. Also present is Attorney Frank Edward Marty.
Present. Good morning.
Good morning po. We also have a representative po of the end user, the BAC TWG members, and the BAC Secretariat. We also have representative from COA and Internal Audit, sir. And with that, we have a quorum po.
Thank you. Let's have the prayer.
To officially begin our discussion, let's put ourselves in the presence of our Lord. Heavenly Father, we seek your help today. Come and let your wisdom fall upon us as we gather for this meeting. Manifest your presence and lead each.
Amen. TWG.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. First on our meeting agenda proper is the submission and opening of bids for the project supply and delivery of 500 sets of conference kit for the 59th DGCA under bid number 24-031-06. Secretariat, before we proceed for the opening of the submitted bid, can we request the presence of the bidder? Thank you. Good morning, ma'am. Please have a seat po and approach the microphone. Ma'am, for records purposes, please do identify yourself by stating your name and the company you represent po.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Hedda Hope Sanchez, representing Kai Fashion Philippines.
Thank you, ma'am. Before we proceed with the opening, kindly confirm that this is your submitted bid.
Yes po.
Thank you, ma'am. And also for the record, Mr. Chair, our bidder today also submitted together with their bid the samples as required in our bidding requirement for this project, sir. These samples, by the way, Mr. Chair, are required for the opening of bids, which shall be part of the evaluation process.
Please proceed.
Thank you, sir. So the submitted bid of Kai Fashion Philippines is stamped received by the Secretariat, 8 a.m. today. Thank you, ma'am. Inside the envelope are two envelopes containing the original legal and technical proposal and the original financial component. We'll proceed with the opening of the original legal and technical proposal envelope. The original legal and technical component document has index tabs and signature on each and every page. Secretariat, checklist, please.
Checklist. Valid PhilJEPS registration certificate, platinum membership.
Certificate of PhilJEPS registration, Platinum membership, issued to Kai Fashion Philippines Incorporated, valid until July 20, 2024. All 3 pages submitted.
Registration certificate from Securities and Exchange Commission, and mayor's or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of the prospective bidder is located, and tax clearance per EO number 398 series 2005 as finally reviewed by the Bureau of Internal Revenue.
Certificate of incorporation issued by the SEC to Kai Fashion Philippines, submitted. Mayor's permit issued by the City of Quezon City, valid until March 1, 2025, submitted. Tax clearance certificate issued to Kai Fashion Philippines Incorporated, valid until January 23, 2025, submitted.
Statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid.
Statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, signed, submitted.
Statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract.
Statement of single largest completed contract, signed, submitted.
Original copy of bid security, if in the form of a surety bond, submit also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission, or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration.
Bid security in the form of bid securing declaration. Original dry seal, submitted.
Conformity with the technical specifications using the prescribed CAAP BAC Annex B Form 2.
Conformity with the technical specifications with compliance statement, submitted.
They shall include all of the following documents as attachments to the conformity with technical specifications: the schedule of requirements, the brochure of product being offered, and the distributorship certificate from the manufacturer appropriate to the product being offered.
Brochures submitted. Product warranty issued by Kai Fashion, submitted. And certification issued by Sing Hui Printing Factory, submitted.
Original duly signed omnibus sworn statement.
Omnibus sworn statement specified as required for this project, signed and notarized, accompanied by the Secretary's certificate, signed and notarized, submitted.
They shall include all of the following documents as attachment to the omnibus sworn statement: certification under oath attesting that they have no pending cases against the government, in addition to the eligibility requirements as prescribed under the 2016 revised implementing rules and regulations, and legal clearance to be issued by the CAAP Enforcement and Legal Service with respect to the non-pending cases of the prospective bidders against this authority, and bid bulletins if applicable.
Ma'am, may we confirm that the submitted proposal contain the um, certificate of no pending case?
Under oath attesting that they have no pending cases against the government.
Yes, ma'am. Could you help us direct to the location of the file, ma'am? Where can we find that page?
It has a CAAP letterhead po.
No, ma'am. It's a separate requirement po.
Sir, after po ng... Please check po after po ng omnibus. After ng secretary certificate.
Mr. Chair, what was only submitted is the legal clearance. We cannot locate the document pertaining to the statement
Certificate
under
of
oath
no pending cases against the
uh,
government.
stating that there's no pending case against the government.
Mr. Chair, may we request the bidder representative, Mr. Chair, to approach the BAC TWG, sir, to check the document because she's stating that there is this document attached.
For the record, Mr. Chair, as confirmed also by the bidder representative, that the only submitted document is a legal clearance. There is an absence of the required certification under oath attesting that they have no pending case against the government. And we'll continue with the checklist, Mr. Chair.
Please proceed.
May I continue, Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
Legal clearance to be issued by the CAAP Enforcement and Legal Service with respect to the non-pending cases to the prospective bidders against this authority.
A legal clearance issued by CAAP ELS, just perhaps for the committee's information, it is said here in the submitted clearance or provided clearance that It is valid until January 2, 2024, which is apparently to be a mistyped character because the fact that it was issued July 2. So we assume that this is a typographical error, hence, in a manner, this is compliant to the submitted requirement.
Mr. Chair, if I may, we are just checking the presence or absence. The content of or the substance of the legal document will be verified later on. So it's
Understood,
only- Thank you.
Attorney. Thank you.
Bid bulletins, if applicable.
Not applicable.
The supplier's audited financial statements showing, among others, the supplier's total and current assets and liabilities stamp received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions for the preceding calendar year we should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submissions.
Audited financial statement for the last preceding calendar years 2023 and 2022, stamp received by the BIR submitted.
The prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity.
NFCC in the amount of 56,003,020 pesos, more than the ABC submitted.
Or a committed line of credit from a universal or commercial bank in lieu of its NFCC computation.
That's not applicable because NFCC was already provided.
Yes, sir. If applicable, a duly signed joint venture agreement in case the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statements from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the JVA in the instance that the bid is successful.
JVA not applicable.
That's it for the technical component, Mr. Chair.
With that, Mr. Chair, considering the finding noted earlier, the submitted technical proposal of Kai Fashion Philippines Incorporated is disqualified for failing to submit the certification under oath attesting that they have no pending case against the government.
Mr. Chair, may we request the technical working group, Mr. Chair, to flash on screen the requirement as stated in the BDS and in the checklist, please, in order for the bidder representative to appreciate the ground for disqualification.
Showing on the screen, Mr. Chair, is the bid data sheet. And to the next page is the requirement under 3.A, certification under oath, testing that they have no pending case against the government. And as for the checklist, mga attachment na to eh. Mga attachments na. There. For the checklist, under checklist lowercase I, as part of the attachment of the OSS, certification under oath attesting that they have no pending case against the government is also part of the checklist.
Can I ask a question, sir? Sir, saan po yan, sir, kinukuha? This is my first time to have this requirement.
It's a free format document that you have to sign.
And then
And-
notarize?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Chair, can we also request a technical working group, sir, to check the post-qualification documents requirement, whether it is indicated there, because if it is indicated there, there might be an impact with the absence of such document during the opening of bids.
Shown on the screen, Mr. Chair, is the BDS or bid data sheet pertaining to the post-qualification requirements under ITB Clause 20.2. Itemized are the SEC registration, mayor's or business permit, and the audited financial statements.
No other requirements or document required.
There is none,
Okay.
attorney.
Okay. May we know, Mr. Chair, the recommendation of the technical working group?
Yes, Ms. Attorney Frank, with the aforementioned finding, upon the opening of the submitted bid, the technical working group recommends the disqualification of the submitted bid of Kai Fashion, rather the technical proposal of Kai Fashion Philippines Incorporated for failing to provide the certification under oath attesting that they have no pending case against the government.
Move to adopt, Mr. Chair, the recommendation of the TWG for the disqualification of Kai Fashion for failure to attach the required certificate of no pending case against the government as indicated in the bid data sheet and in the checklist.
I second the motion.
Motion is approved. Motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to inform our bidder, ma'am, that should you wish to submit your request for reconsideration for this,
Yes, sir.
we
File for motion to reconsideration.
please be advised that you have to file that written request for reconsideration within 3 calendar days po.
Yes po,
Thank you.
noted.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll be sealing your bid.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, excuse me, i-email lang po namin, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Your
You can
request.
also send your request for consideration via email.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Kasama.
But we can leave our sample if there's no problem.
Dito lang po siya.
While our colleagues are working on the sealing of the submitted proposal, Mr. Chair, shall we proceed with the next agenda item po?
Sir, the legal clearance ng CAAP, inaas na kung na-i-amend na ng galing mo. Pero yung certification, yung pending case against the government, requires po talaga. Pero yung legal clearance mo, ano process mo kung nakatanggalin mo kung naipasa mo na isa siya? Sa offer lang po kayo. Ako, sige po. Thank you ma'am sa pagsali. Figure pa lang nila yung yun. Kaya lang medyo mabigat. Legal clearance kasi buti sana pa naman nila. Ay, hindi legal clearance sa CAAP. Certification ng pending case against the government. Medyo mabigat yung pinapasa.
Tapos nandiyan pa sila.
Admittedly, sinabi naman niya first time niya sumali.
Attorney Frank, can we proceed with the next agenda item? It's only a pre-bid conference.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, our next agenda item po is the pre-bid conference for the procurement of CAAP Central Office Service Vehicles.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will now be sharing my screen for a while.
Mr. Chair, may we know from the BAC Secretariat if we have bidder online representatives who are, I mean, prospective bidders who will be attending for item 3.1?
Good morning po to our prospective bidders for the project Procurement of CAAP Central Office Service Vehicle. May we request po to kindly type in na lang po your complete name and the company you are representing on the message box po for attendance purposes. Thank you.
So, while our prospective bidders are typing in or keying in their name and the company they represent, I'll now proceed with the presentation. I'll be using the bid documents as shared on the screen. And now we are welcoming all our prospective bidders for the pre-bid conference for the project procurement of CAAP Central Office Service Vehicle, 4 vehicles under bid number 24-038-06 Bravo. So CAAP, through the CAAP corporate budget, CY 2022, intends to apply the sum, should be 2024, intends to apply the sum of 7,200,000 pesos being the approved budget for the contract to payments under the contract for the procurement of CAAP Central Office Service Vehicles under bid number 24-038-06 Bravo. Bids received in excess of the ABC shall be automatically rejected at the bid opening. CAAP now invites bids for the procurement of CAAP Central Office Service Vehicle. The completion of the project is required within 90 calendar days. Bidders should have completed within the last 5 years a single contract that is similar to this project, equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC. The bidding will be conducted through open competitive bidding procedure using a non-discretionary pass-fail criterion as specified in the 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184. Bidding is open to all interested bidders, whether local or foreign, subject to the conditions for eligibility provided in the IRR of RA 9184. Interested bidders may obtain further information from CAAP and inspect the bidding documents at the address and contact information that will be shown later. The complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders starting on June 21 or since June 21 until the deadline of submission. And the applicable fee or the payment of the applicable fee for the bidding documents pursuant to the latest guidelines issued by the GPPB in the amount of 11,200 pesos, which is already inclusive of 12% VAT. For the prospective bidders' information, it may also, or rather the bidding documents may also be downloaded free of charge from the website of the PhilJEPs and of CAAP. Provided, however, that the bidders shall pay the applicable fee for those bidding documents. CAAP is actually now holding this private conference in this platform. And all bids must be duly received by the Secretariat at the address as shown on the screen to the head of the BAC Secretariat. And it should be received on or before July 17, 2024 at 9:30 a.m. All bids must be accompanied by a bid security in any of the acceptable forms and in the amount as stated in the ITB Clause 14. Bidding shall be on July 17, 9:30 a.m. at CAAT Conference Room, 4th floor, CAAP, Main Building, Old Mayor Road, Pasay City. Bids will be open in the presence of the bidders' representatives who choose to attend this activity. CAAP reserves the right to reject any and all bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not award the contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Section 41 of RA 9184 and its IRR without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. I will jump into the bid data sheet for the specific requirements of the project. So under ITB Clause 5.3, for the purpose, contracts similar to the project shall be the procurement of motor vehicles. And it should have been completed within the last 5 years, as also stated in the instruction to bidders. And the single contract is similar to this project, which should be equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC. Subcontracting is not allowed. And bidders shall submit all eligibility and technical documents as specified here in ITB in this bid data sheet, which I will also be presenting as part of the checklist later. Then the price of the goods shall be quoted DDP or the applicable Incoterms for this project. The bid security shall be in the form of bid securing declaration or any of the acceptable forms and amounts. The amount of not less than 144,000 pesos if bid security is in cash, cashier's or manager's check, bank draft guarantee or irrevocable letter of credit, or the amount of not less than 360,000 pesos if bid security is in surety bond. The bid security in the form of surety bond shall be valid until 120 calendar days from the date of opening of bids and shall be callable on demand. Each and every page of the submitted proposal shall be initialed or signed by the duly authorized representative of the bidder. And those documents shall be properly marked with index tabs, ear tabs, and sequentially paginated in accurate order in the form of page 3 of 100, and the page number of the last page of the document on the per envelope basis. Pagination should be sequential based on the entire span of the whole documents inside the envelope. Under ITB Clause 19.3, the amount of 7,200,000 pesos being the ABC to the payments under the contract for this project. I'll now proceed with the special conditions of the contract. Perhaps the only significant information that must be noted by our prospective bidder is the delivery. It's, as mentioned earlier, that the delivery is, in terms of the contract for this project, the central office as the address of the delivery. For the schedule of requirements, as shown on the screen, item number 1 is a multi-purpose vehicle with the following specifications on engine, displacement, transmission, output, maximum output, torque, interior features, exterior features, safety features, air conditioning, and that the vehicle model should be the latest commercially available model. For other requirements, according to our bidding documents, there must be the availability of spare parts all over Metro Manila, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And the after-sales service, the supplier should have an accredited service center in Metro Manila. The second item, okay. Thank you, Sir MK. The second item is also a multi-purpose vehicle, 3 units of which having the following specifications on engine, displacement, transmission, maximum torque, with the same requirement on the vehicle model being the latest commercially available model. And the similar requirements in terms of the availability of spare parts after sale service, all for a total of 4 units. We will be requiring the prospective bidder or the bidders, for that matter, who will be submitting their proposals to indicate their statement of compliance in the table of specifications as provided in the bidding documents, as also shown on the screen, by just simply putting comply in each item. Item 1 and item 2 of these requirements. I won't be going through every single detail of the terms of reference, but would like to invite our prospective bidders if there's any part they wish to clarify in these attached terms of reference as part of the bidding document after the presentation, or yes, after the presentation of these requirements. And that would be all. That concludes our presentation, Mr. Chair, for the conference, and we'd like to invite our prospective bidders to raise their questions or clarifications should they have any.
Thank you, Technical Working Group. So at this juncture, we are now accepting questions, clarifications from our prospective bidders. Do we have prospective bidders online? So we have here comments from Mr. Joey that he has no questions, clarifications. Any other questions po?
Yes, Miss Glenda Campanero. Go ahead, please.
Sir, clarify ko lang po. Good morning po pala. Based on examining the documents, nakita ko po may papasok po sana kaming unit for the technical specifications. Kaya lang medyo na lang po kasi yung torque niya is medyo mataas. At the same time, yung niya po, yung output.
Ma'am, our technical specifications require at least, as specified here, as shown on the screen, for example, if you're offering higher output torque, then it wouldn't, I mean, you're not going to be non-compliant. As long as it's, yes, above the specification, ma'am, it's acceptable.
Yes sir, kaya lang kahit at least ko po yung maximum torque, the rest naman po is pasok. Kaya lang yung torque niya is nakaspecify na po kasi siya dyan ng 5.2. 5.2, which is ang papasok sana namin unit is 4.9. Medyo nagkabaliktad lang po siya actually.
Ma'am, if you're going to look at the maximum torque, if you are referring to a specific item on the screen, it is within the range. So it should be acceptable.
Yes sir, pero yung dulo lang siya niya is is 5.2 na siya. Which is pointing to the higher variant.
Ma'am, i-clarify lang po namin, ang maximum torque na nakalagay po dito, at least 188 Nm or 4,400 up to 5,200 RPM po, ma'am. So, if your proposal is within that range, then I guess it should not be a problem and it would be acceptable if it is within that range, ma'am.
And actually, attorney, even if it is outside the range, in the logically, if the vehicle is providing higher torque, it's better.
Yes.
So
This is our minimum requirement, and should you provide better offer po, then it's acceptable naman po.
Yes, sir. Possible naman yung isa. Kaya lang, pag yung nakalagay kasi niya dyan is maximum na kasi niya yung ano, kaya hindi aabot silang 4.9 namin sa isa. Sa dulo, yung 5.2. Yung at least nakalagay na dun at least kasi 5.2 RPM. Ang sa amin kasi is 4.9 lang po yung ano, yung isa. Nakalagay na siya kasi siya sir sa 1 at least nasa at least na siya sa torque sir eh. So kung ang at least nyo is 5.2, 4.9 lang kasi yung sa isa, parang magkakaproblema po ako doon. Supposedly kasi itong isa na yung offer, mostly kasi ng specs is nakapoint siya sa isang spec, ay sa isang variant. Dito lang po ako nagka-problema sa torque. Kasi nasa 5.2 na po siya. Which is ang torque po ng variant ng isa is maximum na po talaga siya ng 4.9. So hindi pa ako makakapasok sa 5.2 na requirement.
Anyway, ma'am, we will take note of your manifestation or your comment on this, and the end user will try to look into your proposal, and we will just issue bid bulletin po should there be necessary changes in our bid documents.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Noted.
We have another question from Cherry. Miss Cherry, go ahead, please.
Good morning, sir. Sir, binabasa ko yung bid docs or baka na-misheard ko. Ang tanong ko lang, ilang copies po ito?
Ma'am, our requirement is one original copy lang po sa technical at saka one sa financial, and it shall be sealed and signed in one envelope.
Noted po. That's it. Thank you po.
Yes, ma'am. And kindly refer po sa bid data sheet po natin. It's specifically indicated po doon yung required copies po, which is one copy lang naman po, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Clarified po. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Any other questions, clarifications? Prospective bidders? Well, we will just remind our prospective bidders that you can still submit your written questions, clarifications, 10 calendar days before the opening of our of the submitted bids or the bid opening for this project. So, if you're not able to raise it today, you can still submit your questions, clarifications through email to our BAC Secretariat 10 calendar days before the opening of bids.
Any more?
We believe there is none, Mr. Chair. We therefore recommend the closure of the conference to proceed with the next agenda item.
Please proceed.
Thank you to our prospective bidders for this project. You are now excused po.
Thank you po, prospective bidders. We look forward to receiving your bids. And next on our agenda item, Mr. Chair, is the pre-bid conference for the project supply, delivery, and installation of integrated Quake-Ready Accelerograph monitoring system under bid number 24-039-06 Bravo. Secretariat, may we request the presence or attendance of our prospective bidders, if any, for this project?
Good morning, sir. We'll be presenting for
Nandiyan na
the...
si DGCA. Ka-join siya.
Update on that because that's going.
Noted, sir. Noted.
Good morning po to our prospective bidders who are joining online. May we request po to kindly type in na lang sa message box yung complete name and the company you are representing for record purposes po. Thank you.
ADMS, sir, you may proceed po.
For a while, sir. So, we have the pre-bid conference for the supply, delivery, and installation of integrated Quake-Ready Accelerograph monitoring system. So, we have the terms of reference. We'll be briefly discussing these. We have the objectives to acquire accredited data that will be used to improve the safety provisions of the local structural code, thereby reducing loss of lives and limbs as well as properties during future damaging earthquakes. Secondly, to evaluate the current design and construction practices in order to minimize damage to CAAP buildings during earthquakes. And thirdly, to use gathered data as basis for the CAAP's earthquake disaster mitigation or remedial and rehabilitation strategies, including its emergency response and relief operations programs. We have the scope of services. All units shall be delivered on site to the following airports and CAAP central office facilities. CAAPMIN building, ATMC building, FSIS building, Manila Control Tower building, Civil Aviation Training Center building, ATS building for the central office facilities with the appropriate quantities of accelerograph and early warning audio and light signal system. For Lawag International Airport, inclusive of PTBs and control towers for each airports. Tuguegarao Airport, Naga Airport, Bicol International Airport, Dumaguete Airport, Tacloban Airport, Davao International Airport, Baguio Airport, Bacolod Silay Airport, Kalibo International Airport, Zamboanga International Airport, and lastly, General Santos International Airport, for a total of 30 units accelerographs, monitoring system, and 91 early warning audio and light signaling system. We have the 3 phases of the contract, which shall include firstly, the supply delivery of 30 units of accelerograph, accelerometer with metal casing, global positioning system, and 91 units of early warning audio and light signal system to CAAP Central Office. Secondly, the supply, delivery, and delivery of software for integrated accelerograph viewing system, hardware, wave database server, and monitoring computer to CAAP central office. And lastly, the installation of web or database server, software, and monitoring computer and delivery, installation, interconnection, and interlinking works of all IQRAMS or the Integrated Quake-Ready Accelerograph Monitoring System to identified airports and CAAP central office facilities previously mentioned. So we have the technical specifications for the Accelerograph. We have here also the recording capability, timing, the triggering as applicable, power, and communication. For the web database server and software, we have the following also for its features, for its monitoring computer, and software for central monitoring, as well as the mobilization and demobilization. For the early warning audio and light signaling system, they must be controlled by Accelerograph depending on the trigger level for warning and for evacuation. Modes are through color-coded lighting signals, green, yellow, and red, for a total of 91 units. So for the sorry.
Lakihan mo rin. Paano mo lalakihan yan? Ayan, zoom mo na lang na ganyan. Zoom mo. Yan.
So ano to eh?
Yung sa DOTR.
Dito to.
Yeah. Ayun yung sa pang second paragraph. Sige pa. Sige pa. Ito.
We have the item D of the software for web database. This should be having at least 9 years experience in undertaking similar projects and has one completed contract of software integration of at least 20 accelerographs installed within at least a minimum of 20 locations or spread across the country and interconnected to a central command station. The accelerograph system and its interconnectivity should be compatible with the existing accelerograph systems and interconnectivity or integrated systems of any attached agency of the DOTR. For example, the Philippine Ports Authority, Manila International Airport Authority, and etc. to ensure interoperability. They also must have a certificate of compatibility from the manufacturer and or original equipment manufacturer or OEM and or manufacturer's official partner for the Philippines. Earthquake information reception and preservation function should receive earthquake information from seismograph via VPN line, registers and stores the received earthquake information in the database in the management server. Earthquake information shall include observation time and modified Mercalli intensity or MMI acceleration. Earthquake information display function based on the received earthquake information or display maximum MMI and color corresponding to MMI of each observation point of the map.
Central Command Station.
Sir, the Central Command Station should be based at the CAAP Central Officer. We are yet to determine the location, sir. So, the approved budget for the contract is 230 million pesos. We have the deliverables and payments. Payments shall be passed to the supplier after completion of each activity, as indicated below. So, for the first phase of the contract, we have the payment terms of 50% upon completion. Yes, Mr. Chair. We have 50% of the total contract price upon completion of delivery and acceptance of the first phase, as mentioned previously. For the second phase, we have 40% of the total contract price upon delivery of web database server, software, and monitoring computer to CAAP Central Office as well. The first phase shall cover 180 to 190 days from the issuance of the notice to proceed, and the same for the second phase of the contract upon issuance of the notice to proceed. And for the last phase, which is the delivery, installation, and interconnection works at designated airports and CAAP Central office facilities, shall cover 10% of the total contract price upon completion of the project, which shall cover 120 to 150 calendar days upon completion of the Activity 1. So Activity 1 and 2, which includes the delivery of all Accelerograph system, including its early warning audio and light signaling system, web database, server, software, and monitoring to computer to CAAP Central Office, is intended for the initial inspection of the equipment. Retention is 1% of the project cost payable upon acceptance of all completed works. The actual amount corresponding to each percentage shall be indicated in the contract or notice to proceed after determination of the total contract price. For the release of the subject amounts, the supplier shall bill CAAP's Office of the Director General accordingly and present the required documents for payment. So, other terms and conditions shall be read as follows. First, retention. A retention of 1% and payable after 1-year warranty and final acceptance. Secondly, the warranty, each unit shall be free from defects in materials and workmanship. The warranty shall be at least 1 year from the date of receipt of the equipment by the airport or and central office facilities, wherein all costs for any repairs and or replacement or parts of the equipment shall be for the account of the supplier. Within this period, maintenance checks and calibration shall be done monthly without cost to CAAP. Factory inspection and acceptance. The winning bidder shall accommodate the following CAAP personnel for factory inspection and acceptance. 5 CAAP personnel for factory acceptance. Spare parts. The supplier shall warrant the availability of spare parts within the country for a period of at least 5 years from the purchase of the subject units. For after-sales services, the supplier shall provide for technical support either through phone or on-site visits if necessary. For training and orientation, training and orientation for the operation and maintenance of the equipment shall be conducted by the supplier for the concerned CAAP safety personnel immediately after every installation per site. All costs for training shall be for the account of the supplier.
Yung purchase, ito for sandali. Number 4. Shall warrant the available spare parts within the country for 5 years from the purchase of the subject units. Purchase of the subject unit. Can we be more specific kung anong date? Kung ano yung reference date? Kasi yung purchase of the subject units, napaka we should be more specific na date. Baka
Noted, sir. I will be taking notes for the upon delivery of the subjects will be reflecting the dates for these. Mr. Chair, we may proceed. For the equipment manual, one set of equipment manual shall be included for each unit of equipment delivered. And lastly, for the requirements for the integration and interconnection of accelerographs, like the presence of internet connection with at least 5 Mbps and VPN will be provided by CAAP. The availability of 220 volts power outlet must be present at every location where the accelerographs and early warning light signals will be installed and must already be existing before the start of installation of the accelerograph systems. We have the invitation to bid for the supply, delivery, and installation of integrated Quake-Ready Accelerograph monitoring system. Yes. The Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines through the CAAP APP CY 2020 intends to apply the sum of 230 million pesos being the ABC to payments under the contract for supply, delivery, and installation of integrated Quake-Ready Accelerograph monitoring system, which shall cover the delivery of the goods for 360 calendar days. Bidders should have completed within 7 years from the date of submission and receipt of bids a contract similar to the project. The description of an eligible bidder is contained in the bidding documents, particularly in Section 2 or the instruction to bidders. A complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders on June 21, 2024 until the deadline of submission.
ibalik
Which
mo
is-
nga sa number 2. 2 ba yan? There is a 7-year. Bidders should have completed within 7 years from the date. Kanina mayroon kang requirement na 9-year experience. Hindi ba i-reconcile yan? O 9-year experience ka kanina eh. Ito,
Will be reflecting it in the upon issuance of bid bulletin, sir.
so what will you use? 9-year experience?
9 years, sir.
Pati ito, 7 years from
We'll be adjusting it, sir, to 9 years.
9 years rin yan.
Yes, sir.
Why did you choose 9 years? 10. Do you have any? Wala. Where did you get your number? What is the basis of your number? Does Philippine Ports Authority have this equipment already?
Yes, sir.
Ayan.
Meron po sa MIA rin po. MIA.
Tinaturn niyo ba?
Yes, sir. Sir, may we proceed for the next? We'll
Yang
be reflecting it to the
56,000, yan na ba yun? O something,
inclusive of what, sir? 12% ba?
dati-dati? Okay.
So the pre-bid conference, which is held today for this procurement. So the opening of bids, which shall be duly received by the BAC Secretariat through manual submission at CAAP back office at the stated address of CAAP Central Office, shall be on or before July 17 of the same year at 1:30 p.m. as issued on the bid bulletin number 2. Lit bids shall not be accepted. All bids must be accompanied by a bid security in any of the acceptable forms and in the amount stated in ITB Clause 14. The Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines reserves the right to reject any and all bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not award the contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Section 35.6 and 41 of the 2016 Revised Implementing Rules and Regulations of Republic Act No. 9184 without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. So the bidding documents may also be downloaded free of charge from the website of the Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System, or the PhilGIPS, and the website of the procuring entity, provided that bidders shall pay the applicable fee for the bidding documents not later than the submission of their bids. So for the bid detail sheet, we have the following instruction to bidders clauses. For this purpose, contracts similar to the project shall be supply, delivery, and installation of Accelerograph monitoring system, and completed within the last 7 years prior to the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. Subcontracting is not allowed, and bidders shall submit all eligibility and technical documents as specified in Section 8 of the checklist for technical and financial documents, which is as follows. And the financial component envelope as well. Bids not complying with the above mentioned instruction shall be disqualified. The price of the goods shall be quoted DDP. The price of the goods shall be quoted DDP, designated airport of the designated airport or office. This is duty deliver paid, or the applicable international commercial terms or Incoterms for this project. The bid security shall be in the form of a bid securing declaration or any of the following forms and amounts. The amount of not less than 2% of the ABC if the bid is in cash, cashier's or manager's check, bank draft or guarantee, or irrevocable letter of credit, or the amount of not less than 5% of ABC if bid security is in surety bond. The bid security in the form of surety bond shall be valid until 120 calendar days from the date of opening of bids and shall be callable on demand. 230 million pesos being the ABC to payments under the contract for supply, delivery, and installation of integrated Quake-Ready Accelerograph monitoring system. So that's all for the presentation. May we request, Mr. Chair, may we request for the prospective bidders for their inquiries and other concerns.
Yes, Sir Gabriel, go ahead po.
Hello po, good morning. So, Jordan Gabriel from Usher. So, we would like to know regarding compatibility. Given that Usher has locally developed its own system, so we assert that it is capable of integrating seamlessly with any other system. Now, for us to ensure this integration, we seek clarification po on the following. So, first is what is the exact definition of compatible in this context? And what is specific criteria or specification define compatibility, and how will we determine or measure that the system are compatible? Additionally, sir, can you provide details po or guidelines that we can use to verify compatibility?
Mr. Chair, if I may respond, sir.
Yes, please.
I think the bid documents that we already posted on these, Mr. Chair, did not actually elaborate or extensively define and set parameters, but taking into consideration the comments and the question from our prospective bidder, we will just request the end user to take a look into this and provide bid bulletin to extensively answer the questions and clarifications of the prospective bidders. Sir, in short, sir, in reply to your question, right now, the end user will just look into that first, and then we will just issue a bid bulletin explaining extensively the definition and the parameters of the compatibility issue or concern. Thank you, sir.
Okay po. Thank you, sir. Actually, sir, I have 3 questions. So, sulitin ko na po yung, kumbaga, yung airtime. So, next question lang din po is regarding interconnectivity standards, which primary specification is being adhered to. Are we following the DPWH standard or there is an existing DOTR standard din po? And if applicable standard is still from DPWH, it is imperative that we adhere to DPWH guidelines. Also, furthermore po, if certification is required, should it be required po from the DP po?
Yes, sir. We have aligned these standards from the DPWH memorandum, NBCDO memorandum dated March 12, 2015, which is the NBCDO memorandum circular number 1, series of 2015, stating for the guidelines and implementing rules on the earthquake recording instrumentation for buildings. However, we have not yet reflected the testing and commissioning for this instrumentation or the equipment. We'll be issuing bid bulletin for these additional requirements, sir.
Okay po. Thank you, sir. And lastly po, sorry, last question na lang din po. Yung question ko lang din po regarding the certification. So why is there a requirement to obtain certification from the manufacturer or distributor of Accelerograph installed in the OTR affiliated agencies? Are we adhering to the OTR standard or yun nga po, still following the PWH standard? And if the Accelerograph system or the DOTR standard, has this been officially adopted po? Additionally, is the supplier for this DOTR agency participating in the current bidding? If so, how will other bidders po kaya obtain certification from a competitor? And how does this align with the principle of fair competition under the Republic Act number 9184, which generally prohibits requiring bidders to obtain certification from another bidder due to potential conflict of interest and anti-competitive practices in case po?
Mr. Chair, if I may reply.
Yes, please.
Sir, again, as mentioned earlier, we are following the DPWH standards, and what is only required here also is that the system can be integrated with the other DOTR systems. So, as regards to your other questions, sir, I think this will be addressed in the bid bulletin that will be issued by the end user, because right now they're also clarifying some issues and concerns, and these will be your concerns will also be included in the bid bulletin that they will issue.
Thank you, sir. Salamat po.
Clarified po, sir? Sir Gabriel?
Yes. Yes, sir. I will be waiting for the bid bulletin na lang din po in case for that.
Yes, sir. All your questions and queries or clarifications were duly noted, sir. Thank you very much.
Attorney, I think I missed calling out one prospective bidder who posed to be called first. Apologies, Sir Aldrin Serrano from IMB. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Good morning. This is Jomar Gumawa from Infinity One Global Tech. I would like just to clarify, actually, natanong na rin kasi ni Sir from Asher, si Sir Gabriel, yung question. We would like just to ask, since we only have 2 weeks to submit the bidding documents, is there a way that we can know who is the current supplier that we can get this certification from, as mentioned? Yeah, and then if also, since we're going to do certification process from them, is there a way that we can extend the submission of deadline? Because of course it would undergo testing and clarification and certification from the other party for the existing supplier of the OTR.
Sir, as to your request for extension for submission, right now, we are suggesting that you can write the um, re- back for request for extension in order for the committee to deliberate whether there's a need for us to extend the submission and opening of bids. As to the certification, may I request the end user, please? Yes, sir. As to your certification, sir, we encourage you to also include that, sir, in your letter, so that the end user can address all those concerns.
Okay, sir. Sir, two last questions. On the same clause pa rin, yung pinag-usapan kanina, yung integration system of any attached agency of DOTR. So, this means it's not specifically speaking to Philippine Ports Authority and Manila International Airport Authority. How about other airports that are already installed this system? Are they also allowed to provide such certifications?
Yes, sir. Pwede po. Pwede siya pong mag-ano ng other airports including the certification.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Then last question, sir. In factory acceptance, it's mentioned there 5 CAAP personnel for factory acceptance. Are they going to visit the factory of the supplier? Because ours will be in Japan. So we would like to know if we need to bring this personnel to Japan for factory visit.
Yes, sir. As per TOR, there is a factory acceptance and you have to bring the participant to the factory or the country where the factory is. Okay. Yun, sir. Kailangan dalhin po doon.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir, for clarifying. That's all my question.
Thank you, sir. We request other prospective bidders if they have any questions or clarifications they wish to ask. Yes, Sir John?
Yep, good morning. My question is regarding SLCC. So is it possible not to use 2 aggregated contracts as SLCC given the huge amount of ABC po?
Sir, we actually we already issued a bid bulletin on the SLCC concern, sir. So kindly refer to bid bulletin number 1. It's already posted, sir, in the website as well as the GPPB. I mean, PhilJEP's website, sir.
Okay, sir, we'll check on it na lang po. Thank you.
Any other questions, clarifications from our prospective bidders? Filipinas Tectonic, yes, sir. You're recognized.
Hi sir, I'm Carl Jason Biray from Pilipinas Tectonic. Sir, may question na ako. Nakita ko kasi yung bid data sheet natin. Parang incomplete siya ng requirement. Wala siya mga schedule of requirements, technical specifications. Do we need to include po ba yan sa bidding?
Sir, it is included in our terms of reference. You can check that portion, the technical specification, technical compliance,
Yes, sir.
checklist. It is included in the terms of reference. Those are um, documents that also included in the submission, to be included in the submission.
Okay, sir. Another question, kung ilang copies po ba yung kailangan natin i-provide sa CAAP?
We only require, sir, one original one original copy. So for the financial, one for the technical, and then in one envelope, you include both financial and technical.
Okay, sir. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions? If there is none po at this point, we encourage prospective bidders, to submit your questions, clarifications, 10 calendar days before the opening of bids. You can actually email us through our BAC Secretariat all your questions and clarifications in order for the technical working group as well as the end user to prepare a reply to your questions and clarifications. And just a reminder, abangan nyo na lang po yung bid bulletin na i-issue po namin in relation to concerns or questions which were not addressed today.
All right. Thank you, Attorney. Again, allow me to reiterate that inform our prospective bidders that all written clarifications or questions or even interpretations to the requirements of the bidding documents are encouraged to be submitted in written form at least 10 calendar days before the opening of bids. And with that, Mr. Chair, we are closing the conference and move to the next agenda item.
Okay, please proceed to the next.
Thank you, prospective bidders. You can now be excused.